Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome, dear learners. You are watching a video which is from the subject of education and for the course of Bachelor's in Education, and this paper is Child Development and Learning. This is a module on adolescence and education, and this lecture will be focusing on the introduction to adolescence and education. The course coordinator and the presenter or subject matter expert for this video is Dr. Iram Khan from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. And the academic expert or reviewer for this video is Professor Jasim Ahmed from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. This video is produced under the project DTH Swayam Prabha channels of MHRD, New Delhi. Hello dear learners. Today we are going to have a discussion on adolescence and education, and this particular lecture is based on an introduction to adolescents and their education. I am Dr. Iram Khan, Assistant Professor at IASC Faculty of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia. So first of all, as we have already seen in a few other lectures, that what exactly this stage of adolescence is, but we are going to have a recall that what exactly this age or this stage of adolescence is. So adolescence is the period between childhood and adulthood. Biologically, it is the time of sexual maturation and the completion of growth. So more than mere biology, adolescence is physiologically the period between the childhood dependency and being a functionally independent autonomous adult. So according to the World Health Organization or the WHO, WHO considers adolescence as the period between 10 to 19 years of age, which generally encompasses the time from the onset of puberty to legal age of maturity. So adolescence in the sociological sense refers to the experience of passing through a phase that lies between childhood and adulthood. Then we have to talk about, whenever we are talking about adolescence, the term puberty is very important to discuss. So puberty is the process of physical changes through which a child's body matures into an adult. Puberty is a universal experience, but adolescence is not. More than mere biology, adolescence is psychologically the period between childhood dependency and being a functionally independent autonomous adult. Now we have to discuss about the importance of adolescence education. What exactly is the meaning of adolescence education? Because being a teacher, the first person whom the teacher is exposed to is, yes, it is a child, but whenever we talk about uh, secondary education, senior secondary education, or in most of the cases in the like early life of college education, even the teachers are the first stakeholder who are actually in close contact with the adolescents. So adolescents, what exactly need, what is the requirement in terms of their education is actually very important to discuss. So adolescence education needs to be imparted to adolescents for smooth and successful transition as adults. So the adolescence education is an educational intervention for imparting information, providing an encouragement and support, clarification of doubts and myths so that adolescents can make sense of their world and grow as productive members of the society. So adolescence education must provide information related to so many aspects, and we are going to discuss all these aspects one by one. So the first aspect is for the provision of good mental and physical health, including reproductive health, and the knowledge and means to sustain health during adulthood. So this is the first and the foremost point, because whenever a person is an adolescent, the person, this girl or a boy, is going to face all these issues which are related to adjustment, which are related to physical and health related issues even. So this is the foremost point. Then an appropriate stock of human and social capital to enable an individual to be a productive adult member of society. So this is the second point. So this is something which actually is a kind of facilitation to this particular person or this child, or a person who is now in the age group of an adolescent, so that the transition is swift and this child or this adolescent becomes a proper productive member of the society. Then the next point is the acquisition of pro-social values and the ability to contribute to the collective well-being as citizen and community participant, so that this adolescent person becomes very much valuable and a kind of person who is a good citizen and who is also good for the nation as a whole. So this was the next point. Then adequate preparation for the assumption of adult social roles and obligations, including the roles of spouse or partner, parent, and household and family manager. So the point is that during this age group, the nature of this person in terms of roles, gender roles, is also changing. Now the in few of the cases we see that partnership or partnership is actually in terms of getting a partner is also becoming very much usual nowadays. So we have to see that how all those responsibilities related to getting a family or a kind of management of the family is also inculcated. This the role of family manager is also inculcated into this person. Then the next point is the capability to make choices through the acquisition of a sense of self and a sense of personal competence. This sense of self is actually very important for the all-round development of the personality of any individual, because whenever we are talking about ourselves, we actually know us very well and we actually are the most important evaluators of our personality. So the point is that the development of self or self-consciousness, self-being, is actually going to control us. The self control is going to lead us to go ahead and lead our successful lives. So all these were the various points which we have to take care whenever we are talking about the education of the adolescents. Now we are going to have a discussion on the special characteristics of adolescents with reference to their needs and problems, because this particular stage of development has got its own needs, has got its own problems, and being a teacher or a facilitator or a parent, we have to take care of all those needs, and also we have to solve the problems of these individuals. So we have seen that it is very much worthwhile whenever we have talked about this developmental stage of education, the specific characteristics of this stage. So adolescence, often termed as the age of storm and stress, it has many conflicted situations and problems of adjustment for which careful study is required. So let us think over the origin of such problems and try to analyze the specific needs and demands of adolescents. So I'm going to have a kind of step-by-step look on what exactly are those specific issues which are related to the problems and we can say the needs of adolescents. So here the first point is confusion regarding somatic variations or biological changes. So every adolescent has more or less the difficult task of adjusting to somatic variations which may occur during or maybe after the onset of puberty. So as we can say that during the period of adolescence, maximum physiological changes take place. So these rapid changes create problems for the adolescents in different ways. In case of girls, they face different type of problems. In case of boys, they face different type of problems. So we just have to discuss both of the genders here. So the first issue which I am going to raise is that in case of girls and in case of young women, the problem of menstruation actually create worries. So in these girls, this problem gives rise to many fears and anxieties. Similarly, the discharge of semen during nocturnal emissions among boys horrifies them because they are facing all these problems or issues for the first time in their life. So they are also they face a lot of fear. They become fearful and they think of that there would be some problem with them. Their bodies are actually not responding properly. So these type of anxieties arise. So they become quite uh, disturbed about the all these phenomena. So this particular physiological changes, all these physiological changes bring many complexes in the minds of these children or these adolescent children. So these changes make them introvert and secretive. They tend to actually make things not revealed to others because they feel that maybe they are doing something wrong. That's why they are facing these issues. They don't know that actually these are the biological symptoms, biological issues, which are actually the outcomes of the changes which are happening into their body because of the hormones and all. So because of these things are not actually are not aware of all these things, they become very much introvert and secretive. So there are always individual differences among human beings, and so a person cannot deny the possible differences with regard to bodily development. So looks and appearance among the adolescents is actually a very important issue of discussion because they are very conscious about their looks in this particular lifespan. An adolescent and his contemporary or the peer group is basically having a kind of conflict also at times due to this different type of appearances. Somebody is looking more beautiful or more manly, so all these things are also there. So differences are almost certain to cause this individual uh, anxious, particularly regarding height, weight, then fatness, or maybe thinness, then facial blemishes, because at this particular age, at times there are pimples uh, because of hormonal changes. These guys are having pimples on their faces, so that is also one of the concern for them. Largeness or smallness of their secondary sexual characters, like their hips and their breasts in girls, and genitals in their in boys. So we can say all these issues are actually something which is concerning to them, and they even at times discuss with their peer group. And then there are stories which are built up by the peer group, and it brings again a kind of confusion. And the more important thing is that they are not able to discuss these things with the teachers or the parents because of the shyness or not very much familiarity or kind of consciousness. So that's why all these confusions prevail. So for both boys and girls, appearance and bodily condition, which are not in keeping with what is considered the norm or a kind of beauty norm, cause some sort of anxiety. Girls want to look feminine, more feminine and attractive to boys. On the other hand, boys want to look more manly to gain prestige among other boys or peer group, and they also want to look much more important and physically strong in front of the girls. So to be reasonably satisfied with one's physical appearance is actually it has become very important task for an adolescent. So this person needs to become actually very much normalized with all these new bodily changes. Any deviation from the from the norms and standards of the society can make them affected, and any sort of inferiority or superiority complex can arrive. So it is the responsibility of the teachers to actually go ahead and see that what kind of problems they are facing. Even the parents can actually go ahead and talk to them so that these type of confusions can just can be eradicated. So now we have to discuss about the next point, which is intensification of self awareness, self consciousness. Basically, self consciousness is extremely developed in adolescence. There is a strong desire in an adolescent that his or her body changes should be noticed by the elders as well as by the members of his own age group. So adolescence can be described as an age of self-decoration. Boys and girls pay more attention to their dresses, makeup, manner of talking, than their gait or the walking style, eating habits, etc. So in fact, there is a craving for recognition in adolescence. Every adolescent desires that he or she should be the center of attraction for the opposite sex. And this person's abilities, intelligence, and capabilities should be recognized by the peer group and elders. So the adolescents are very sensitive, touchy, and inflammable. So they can be actually aroused by any sort of simple thing. So they aim to maintain at any cost their concept of themselves, whenever possible, to enhance their status among their peer group. So any type of attack on their phenomenal self invites strong reactions and behavioral problems. It makes an adolescent either aggressive or withdrawn depending on the circumstances. So this is to be taken care of those who are surrounding this particular individual. So they have to very much they have to be very much conscious about the issues and the problems of this individual. So now let us discuss the next point, which is intensification of sex consciousness. Sex consciousness becomes too intense at this particular stage or the age group of adolescents. Most of the adolescent problems are concerned with the sudden functioning of their glands, their hormonal glands, secretion of sex hormones, and the awakening of the strong sex instinct. So, firstly, menstruation and ejaculation through natural occurrence at puberty give a shock to most of the adolescents. Afterwards, every adolescent feels a sort of strong sensation in the sex organs. This motivation or this type of things motivate this person to seek satisfaction through different sort of activities. And these are actually a kind of taboo in the society. They are not going to discuss, they are not able to discuss all these things. So in the third stage of their sexual development, adolescents are attracted to the opposite sex. Sex sensation combined with curiosity about sex draws the members of the two opposite sex nearer, and at most of the times this nearness is sometimes developed into relationships and creates many problems and complexities for the future. So these activities create many worries and complexes in the minds of the adolescents. They become confused and develop a sense of guilt. In most of the cases, the opinion which is actually being acquired by these habits have ruined the lives of these people, these adolescents. Their future life, their future sexual lives are also ruined because of bad habits, which actually due to certain circumstances, not talking the different issue about the different issues, confusion about the sexual development can actually ruin their future sexual life. So it is very important to have a discussion with all those adolescents, those people who are surrounding the adults who are surrounding these students or the adolescents have this responsibility to talk to them and actually remove all those confusions. The next point is the independence versus dependence conflict. An adolescent is on the boundary line of childhood and adulthood. So this person is typically who needs security, guidance, and protection like a child, and independent views, maturity of opinion, and self-support like an adult. So this person is still immature. This person's abilities and capacities are still in the process of growth and development. So it depends for the satisfaction of this person's many needs, like the need of physical, emotional, all those type of issues which are related to their emotional adjustments and physical needs are actually something which is very much needed to be discussed whenever we talk about the satisfaction of this person. So the parents and the elders have this responsibility to be very much careful, thoughtful about all these issues. The emotional instability of this person's behavior and difficulty in coming in terms with the somatic changes or the biological changes make the person quite restless and often insecure. So he or she needs security and complete freedom from unnecessary worries and anxieties at this stage. And in some way, this girl or boy is again in search of mother's lap and father's affection. Also, the intense love for thrill and adventure, coupled with the uncontrolled emotions, needs to be guided, and this person's unbridled flow of energy should be checked. So, on the other hand, uh, in the social circle, because now the social circle is also widening. So this girl or boy tries to emancipate himself or herself from the care and look after of his or her parents and elders. So there is a kind of again a conflict. As well, the need of security is also there, but this person is not able to show that she or he is under the patronage of their elders. So the thought of becoming mature and full-fledged adult is actually prevailing. So this person is actually willing to become, to showcase that now he or she has become a full-fledged adult, though he or she is not. So what happens, the reflection of strong this strange type of behavior towards the parents and elders is actually starting to happen. So and this is the time when the child and the parent have got certain conflicts because of the conflict in the mind of the child. So this person tries to assert and show that now he or she is mature person and not a child. So why the parents are actually asking to do something? Why not there is any kind of liberty which is given to him or her? So this kind of manners, or which is actually sought after in the society, is actually desired from the elders. And because of the nature of this particular age group, this child is not going to become very very conscious about becoming mannered or a kind of disciplined. So we can say that this becomes the stage when there is a conflict which starts between the children and the parents. So the parents have to be very much conscious, because they have to understand that this child of theirs is facing lots and lots of problems and physical changes. So and these physical changes have to be coped up, then only the kind of stability can be achieved. So it is not only the adolescents who suffer from the duality of their behavior, but even the parents are not clear about the roles of their children. So sometimes they expect this person to behave as an adult, and at other times they treat him or her as a child. So therefore, the poor adolescent is caught between the role of a child and an adult. So here, this girl or boy possesses a strange mix of the needs of uh, dependence and independence, where uh, which actually creates conflicting situations and problems for him or her. So this is something which is actually to be taken care of uh, towards this particular age span of the child or the adolescent. So now let us discuss about the next point, which is peer group relationship. Peer group or the friend group is basically very much important in this stage. So peer group relationship plays a substantial role in the life of an individual. Uh, a peer group actually drifts away from the parents and elders, and this adolescent actually spends much more time with the members of his peer group. He or she values the ideals of the group and develops a sense of loyalty towards the peer group. Now he or she is directed by the standards and norms of the peer group and pays least attention to the desires and advice of their parents or the elders. So at this time, the girl or boy is more concerned with gaining prestige and recognition in the eyes of his or her peers. Every child at this stage wants that he or she should be fully accepted by his peers or her peers. Nothing can be more devastating to adolescent than to be rejected by the age group mates or all those peer members. So there is a surety of existence. There is a demand of existence. Then difference in opinions are also there. There are views, there are likings and dislikings of the elders and adolescents, which is actually going to matter in this particular age group. So it if here these difficulties are arising, then we have to actually become very much patient. As an adult member of the society, we have to become very much patient in terms of dealing with the adolescents. So the adolescents find themselves the victims of the conflicting demands of social and cultural norms of adults and the peer group, and they often become confused and very much kind of perplexed with regard to any decision making. So here again we have to be very much conscious about their needs and their demands. Now the next point is idealism versus realism, a kind of conflict which is very much often to see or to observe in the adolescents. So this is a typical feature of adolescents, which is lying in their interest or in their ideals. They desire to help in the creation of an ideal society. They are very critical of the existing circumstances, happenings, and think of beginning reform. They often engage themselves in questions like, where is the world going? What is the meaning of our life? What is humanity? Uh, is there is an existence of God? Why are there are so many sufferings and inequalities in this world? So in this way, they try to place themselves on a superior level by searching some kind of very loosely built up aims and ideals, and want a set of more principles they can understand, as well as some guiding principles by which they can operate. But in this search of idealism, an adolescent moves away from realism. So, in fact, lack of experience makes them somewhat unrealistic. So, this person tends to accept the impossible. When this is not attainable, he or she becomes quite disturbed and unreasonable. So many of the adolescents grow up into problematic youths. Some of them become pessimistic and believe in destroying whatever comes in their way of realizing their dreams. Some turn to become withdrawal, and like withdrawal kind attitude starts to begin. They start to do daydreaming. They begin to live in their own world of imagination and fairy tales, and this thus what happens that uh, any possibility to turn into a kind of uh, a good citizen at times is actually converted into a kind of maladjustment personality. So we have to be very much conscious about that there is a balance between these daydreamings and the real world. So this is something which is the uh, responsibility of the adults who are surrounding this adolescent. Now the next point is vocational choice and need of self-support. So an adolescent is strongly desiring to achieve self-sufficiency and becoming an independent person, like an adult member of the society. So the life ahead demands from him or her that or she should prepare himself or herself for the future vocation, which they are willing to adapt. So therefore, the period of adolescence requires from the individuals to take a decision about their vocations. So vocational decision is an important one for an adolescent, and for finding them not quite up to the mark in making the right choice actually makes their lives a kind of disbalance. So emotional instability, lack of experience and maturity proves an obstacle in making the right choice. Uh, in this way, the interest, aptitude, and abilities are still in the process of making. So we have to be very much conscious that if they are making some sort of vocational choice, which is actually not looking like that in future it is going to work, then we have to give them suggestion, and we have to actually sit with them and talk with them so that they get convinced, and because the elders are having some sort of good experiences or bad experiences more than these people, so they can give them suggestions. So this uncertainty about the interest and abilities make them quite puzzled. So this puzzledness can be removed once they discuss all these issues with the adults. So adolescents want proper guidance and advice with regard to this interest, aptitude, and vocational choices. So this is the responsibility of the adults, which we will discuss. So now let us see that what can be done for the adolescents. So the need of the adolescents have to be satisfied and their problems realized in a proper way in order to help them in the proper growth and development. So the task is serious and desires all dimensional efforts. So now let us discuss all those things which can be actually done. So to have the proper knowledge of adolescents psychology, this is the first point, because adolescence is the bridge between childhood and adulthood. So the behavior of the adolescent and his or her personality needs a careful study. So it is essential to have the knowledge of the adolescent's psychology in order to understand him or her. What are the specific needs? What different types of changes take place during this period? What are the problems faced by the adolescents? How should they can be treated? All are the essential questions or essential issues which the parents, the teachers, or the administrators who have to deal with the adolescents must know. So this was the first point. So the next point is providing suitable environment to proper growth and development of adolescents. So we already know that growth stops at the end of adolescence after attaining maturity. Adolescence is the stage where maximum growth takes place. To attain maximum during this stage, all that one can get with respect to physical and mental growth, suitable environment should be provided by the parents and teachers, respectively at home and in the school. So adolescents must be provided with balanced diet. Their eating habits should be properly checked upon. They must be taught about health, personal hygiene, cleanliness, about various diseases and their prevention, to keep them fit for growing. Then adequate provisions for physical exercise and activities should be made in the school curriculum, and necessarily all those facilities which are related to all these things should be provided to these individuals. Next point is providing proper sex education. Sex plays a very dominant role during adolescence. So the rapid physiological changes, secretion of sex hormones, sudden awakening of sex instincts and urges all necessitate the provision of adequate sex information and education for the adolescents. So there should be certain things which can be done. So the following which we are going to discuss are those directions which can be actually given, or the things which can be done. So they should be helped in making adjustments with regard to their new bodily changes and all those biological or somatic developments. Girls should know that flow of blood during menstruation is not a disease. It's a natural process which prepares them for becoming reproductive members of the society. So similarly, boys should be told that the occasional discharge of semen during sleeping time is not in any way harmful for them, and they should be not very much worried about all these things. So their curiosity about sex also needs to be satisfied. For this purpose, parents and teachers should provide adequate information on sex hygiene and physiology, the process of the birth of a baby, the hazard of immature and pre-marriage intercourse or kind of early pregnancy. So all these issues in a frank way, in a scientific and judicious way, in a very personal way, can be discussed with these people. So the sex instinct and urges also need to be cared properly. There should be a proper sublimation of sex instinct um, and sexual energy. So the channelization of sexual energy is very much important. So the forceful inhibition or taboos and restrictions imposed in the direction bring disastrous results. So with the provision of wide field of interest, a network of co-curricular activities and social situations with boys and girls should be given the chance to know and get along to work with each other. So in this way, they can be very much, frankly, like in a friendly way, they can be attached with each other. So this will remove their many misconceptions about each other and will lead to their healthy adjustment in the society. The next point is training of emotions and satisfaction of emotional needs. So the age of adolescence is marked by a lot of intensity, force, instability, and immaturity of emotions. So the adolescents or these young youths are highly inflammable and restless. Their emotions can be aroused with slight provocation. The political parties and opportunist leaders can easily fool them and use them in destroying national property. So, therefore, there is a strong need of emotional education to the adolescents. Their emotions should be properly trained, and emotional energies should be diverted towards constructive ends. So, the adolescents suffer from certain emotional needs. They have a strong desire of love and to be loved. They need to be accepted by their age mates, and every adolescent aspires that he or she should be admired and praised. They want that they should be given freedom to proceed in their own way and adopt their own style of life. But on the other hand, they need protection, shelter, and affection from parents, elders, and teachers. So, uh, for becoming a disturbed child, uh, is actually, it can be because if all these anxieties, insecurities prevail, then this child can be in the category of maladjusted child or maladjusted uh, young one. So the parents and teachers should take care of all these needs of the adolescents. They must be given what they need in terms of their emotional requirements. Then only they can become an emotionally balanced human beings. So the next point is the proper dealing with the adolescents. Recent researchers in the field of adolescent psychology have revealed that adults, parents, elders, and teachers and their unreasonable ways and point of views are the real problems of adolescents. They are in the habit of criticizing the adolescents and always imposing their authority and assert their liking and their dislikings on these individuals. They forget that there is a generation gap between them and these adolescents. So in dealing with them, parents and teachers should realize that the demands of their peer group are more important than their own expectations. Then among adolescents, there is a craving for recognition, and they also try to maintain their self prestige and status among their peers. So they assert that they are now mature individuals. Their opinions should be valued, and they should be given a patient hearing. Therefore, it is badly needed on the part of the teachers as well as parents that they stop treating them as children and give them due recognition. Their opinions should be invited and they should be given opportunities for free expression. They must refrain from activities damaging the this person's self concept. The adolescents must not feel that they are insulted and their phenomenal self has been attacked unnecessarily. So the teachers and parents should stop. Uh, at times they whisper or murmur and blindly criticize the attitudes and actions of the adolescents. So they should stop all these things. Then the youths are more in need of models than critics. So the elders must give a deep consideration to adolescents' need and problems. It is actually useless to punish their misbehavior. We actually have to deal with them in a very kind of conscious way. Then only we can um, we can provide them opportunities again to become a balanced human being. Then the next point here is to take care of the individual differences and special interests of the adolescents. So adolescence is the age of wide interest and aptitudes. There are wide individual differences among the adolescents with regard to their special interest and aptitudes. So great care should be taken to locate their special interest and aptitudes. According to their interests and aptitudes, they should be provided with learning experiences and opportunities for participation in different type of activities, be it curricular or co-curricular. So the curriculum should provide an open choice for various subjects and activities according to the taste and temperament of the adolescents. Their curiosity, their adventurous tendencies should be taken care of by all these activities like excursions, then different type of explorations, scientific explorations, or maybe mountaineering. So all these things are very much, you can see very often in the adolescents, they find all these things very interesting. So we can see that how we can actually make all these things part of the curriculum so that their adventure needs can be fulfilled. So the love for the humanity and ideals should be utilized in rendering social services and community services in the neighborhood or in the distressed areas in case of different pandemics, or in case of different problematic situations or natural disasters, because they are very conscious about the social issues. So we have to take care of that how we can actually bring all those consciousness into productive activity. So we can say that the adolescents should be provided with useful activities according to their interest so that they are constantly busy and their mind is preoccupied with healthy and constructive ideas. So the next point is providing proper moral education. So, one of the causes of increasing restlessness, indiscipline, dishonesty, and aimlessness among the youth of our country is that there is no proper provision of moral education in our country, in the system, in the educational system. Uh, there are a lot of different doubts which are there in terms of providing the moral education. At times, it is confused with the religious education. So, we have to be very much careful about this, and we have to be very much conscious whenever we are providing the moral education, and it is very much essential. So in the education of morality and character formation, there should be a provision of like all those needs and requirements which are due to the agency of society. So the school, the home, and the social agency can work in this direction to provide moral education. The parents, teachers, social workers, and administrators should join their hands in creating suitable atmosphere and offering opportunities for practicing moral qualities. The next point is the provision for vocational education. So there is a strong desire of achieving independence in adolescence. So economic factors obstruct their way. Therefore, they are worried about acquiring self-sufficiency on the economic front. What occupation should they choose? How can they earn their livelihood? Are some questions which actually need to be answered, and they try and they actually seek the answers of these questions. So here arises the need of proper vocational guidance and vocational education for them. So the youth of today is actually kind of confused and aimless between the indefiniteness of the vocational world. So the education imparted to this person does not provide jobs and occupations. So therefore, the strong need of today is to provide job-oriented and vocation-based practical education for the adolescents. So the government, the society, the parents, and the teachers should make their efforts in this direction so that they can become a kind of reproductive persons who can actually earn their own livelihood by different type of skill training and all those vocational employable person can be prepared by the vocational guidance given to them. Then the arrangement of guidance services. This is also very important. Lack of guidance creates aimlessness, indefiniteness, and restlessness among the adolescents. So adolescents have their own problems which need careful attention and proper solution. So they are at the crossroads of the life. A slight mistake can lead them on the wrong path. So therefore, it is very much important. It is the utmost duty of the state, the society, and school to provide proper guidance services to the students as well as to their parents. The guidance services should be organized in a proper form, both inside and outside the school premises. There should be well-trained guidance workers and personnel. As far as possible, individual guidance should be provided. So, all these list of suggestions regarding the solution of the adolescents' problems and their satisfaction of their needs cannot be called complete with only these points which we have discussed. There are many more points, but we have to see that this gigantic issue can be much more discussed. It can be rigorously or strenuously taken care of. Many efforts in this direction should be made so that the difficulties which are arriving due to all these problems can be actually eradicated. So all these things were related to how to deal with the adolescents. So with this, we have now arrived to the end of this session, and let us just make a kind of quick recap. We have seen that the age of adolescence is actually starting once the person attains the puberty, the ability to reproduce his kinds, and it ceases once the adolescent is actually matured in terms of physical, mental, social, and emotional aspects to play the role of an adult in the society or in the culture. So, however, in the day-to-day functioning, adolescents can be referred to and as teenagers, the individuals having the age between 13 to or 12 to 19 years. So, in most of the syllabi of the secondary school teachers preparation courses, we always find one or the other topic in relation to the study of adolescence. It is simply because that secondary school teacher have to deal with adolescent students who are studying in the secondary or higher secondary classes ranging from 11 to 18 years of the age. So for their proper growth and development as well as desirable behavior modification, it is utmost essential to get acquainted with the needed adolescent psychology, the nature of needs and problems of their growth and development, and many more things which are related. So, as a consequence of the process of growth and development carried out in the period of adolescence, a child tries to attain his or her maximum in terms of his or her physical, mental, social, emotional, moral, and sexual development. So, such sudden growth and development on a large scale may generate specific types of problems and adjustment needs for the developing adolescents. So much so that they designate their period of as well as adolescence as a period of great storm and stress. So adolescents, like infants and children, possess many age-specific and age-specified needs, characteristics and problems like the confusion with regard to somatic variation or adjustment, with the new bodily changes, then intensification of self-awareness and self-consciousness, then the conflicting demands of social and cultural norms of adults and their peer group. Then they are caught between the role of a child and an adult in taking decisions about independence versus dependence. Then the conflict between idealism versus realism, the vocational choices and self-support, and many more things. Then the adolescent is this age of adolescent is the age of action. So, however, adolescents may find themselves many times on the crossroads on account of their age specific characteristics, need, and problems felt by them for the proper growth and development of their personality. So, it is the duty of the parents, the teachers, the school authorities, and members of the society to join their hands for providing best means and opportunities, not only for realizing all those needs which are felt in terms of growth and development of adolescents, but also for the maximum development of their personalities in the interest of their self and their society. So this was all about the adolescents and their education we have talked about today. I hope that things are now clear to you, and you will be having a kind of look on all those needs and issues and problems of adolescents. Uh, I hope that the discussion will become very much fruitful to you, and I will see you all in another session. Thanks for this time. Thank you. You are watching a video on adolescents and education, and this lecture was based on Introduction to Adolescents and Their Education. This video lecture was recorded by faculty at home during the national lockdown period for COVID-19 pandemic using minimal technical resources. Technical errors, if any, are unintentional and may please be ignored. For any queries with regard to this lecture or broadcast, kindly send your emails to techsupport@dth.ac.in. Thank you so much.